To Say No More Media, don't forget to click that subscribe button and hit that notification bell right there. Say no more. LaJohntay Wester. I watch him transfer over from FAU to Colorado. I watch him go crazy in the Big 12. I seen his first game in the NFL, but now I think the Baltimore Ravens have solidified their punt returner for the near future. He is always one shoestring tackle away from taking something to the crib, taking something to the house. And I got nothing but respect for this young man because I seen his grind. I seen him trust the portal. And I also seen him trust his abilities. What he did in the East-West Shrine Bowl, earning that invitation to the NFL Combine. From there, he did his thing at the NFL Combine, running that 4.47 in the 40-yard dash. He has elite quickness and route running, and as you can see, his vision is immaculate. This is his first game in the NFL, and Coach Prime Deion Sanders always teaches and preaches up in Boulder, take advantage of your opportunities. When you get your opportunities, you take advantage of them, and that's exactly what LaJohntay Wester has done for the Baltimore Ravens. He had Lamar Jackson unanimous MVP juice. He had his team juice. You know, them Florida boys checking him out. But, you know, shout out to LaJohntay Wester, man, my favorite wide receiver past season in college football. His tenacity, you know, he has a smaller frame. He's quick. He's elusive, but he's a dog and he's a playmaker. What he was able to do at FAU before transferring over to Colorado, earning second team all Big 12 a wide receiver, it is all transitioned to the NFL. So shout out to LaJohntay Wester. You know, he had that 87-yard punt return to open the season for Baltimore, and he's made the depth chart. I think he's the fourth receiver on the depth chart right now. Don't get me wrong, the fourth to the fifth on the depth chart. But as a rookie, you see he's locked up that starting punt returner. So he might be fourth or fifth on the depth chart as far as wide receiver is concerned. You know, you got Rashad Bateman. You got DeAndre Hopkins. You know what I mean? You got a couple other playmakers ahead of him on the depth chart. But you can go ahead and lock up that punt returner because, as you can see, he ain't afraid to get in there and make the first guy miss and get busy. And that's what he's been doing ever since the preseason and now into the regular season. We all know how important, you know, field position is, you know, in any sports, but especially in the NFL. You know, every inch, every yard matters. And what LaJohntay Wester has been able to do for the Baltimore Ravens, not only as slot receiver by putting them in good field positioning, but you see him operating out of the slot. He's quick, he's shifty, he understands coverage, and good luck with any, you know, safety or linebacker trying to cover this young man out of the slot. He was open probably 85 to 90% of his senior season at Colorado. But, you know, they have so many playmakers like the Heisman Trophy winner and Travis Hunter. We had Jimmy Horn Jr. We had Will Shepard. He just got his opportunities, but he was literally what a Shedeur Sanders security blanket is because, hey, LaJohntay Wester was always open. Hopefully this is the last year he got to wear 83, though. I know he's taking it back to high school. From what I learned, that used to be the number he used to rock in high school. But hopefully we can see him in that one again because I know that's what he's trying to get to for Baltimore. And he deserves it, especially if he keeps making plays like this. Now, LaJohntay Wester has elite vision, speed, and elusiveness. If you don't know, he was taken in the 6th round, and he was from Colorado University, where he went crazy and helped the Buffaloes go to a 9-4 record, and he's watching his dreams live out in the NFL. And he got a running back. Oh, yeah. He ran another 4.47. Jimmy Horn Jr. out there in Carolina is locked in, and he has become one of Bryce Young's, you know, locked in, trustworthy targets. We seen him make a play on 4th and 5, a crucial round, you know, very aware where the sideline is. And one thing about Jimmy Horn Jr. is he's always ready to play. He has unbelievable confidence. And like you say, out in Boulder, you know, they apply pressure, and that's what he's showing. This play is what I'm talking about. 4th and 5 against the Miami Dolphins out of the slot. Runs a deep out, beats great coverage. That was great coverage, but the better man made a better play. He went up there and he grabbed that ball, paused. That was crazy, but he climbed that ladder, got that ball, and, you know, that was a crucial play for the Carolina Panthers, and I think they went on to win that game as well. But Jimmy Horn Jr. is being well accepted in Carolina, you know, by the fans. You already know the Colorado, the Prime Video series. They were already popular heading into the NFL, but this boy has grinded. Nothing was given to him. He took advantage of everything, from being hurt after that great start for the North Dakota State game, you know, the East-West Shrine Bowl, to the NFL Combine, to being picked in the 6th round by the Carolina Panthers, and he's been stepping onto the scene, and they have just been amazed by his acceleration. Yeah, if you ask around that organization, they're very impressed with Jimmy Horn Jr.'s straight line speed, but you talk about acceleration, He's probably in the top 5% when it comes to acceleration in the NFL. Okay, what do you mean by acceleration? Meaning from the time he catches that ball, puts his foot in the dirt and turns upfield, give him 6 to 7 yards off that first plant. That's what I mean by acceleration, how fast you can start and stop. Not getting out of your breaks, not getting out of your cuts. I'm talking about from the time he catches that ball, boom, turning upfield. That acceleration is different in Jimmy Horn Jr. He's always had that speed since he was a young, what they call it, jit out there in, I think it was Sanford, Florida. Yeah, somewhere out there in Florida. But look at him, man. You could just see him flying just from the practice videos. You could see why Jimmy Horn Jr. has solidified himself on this Carolina Panthers roster out there with another fellow rookie out of Arizona, Terry McMillan, out of the Big 12 as well. And just watching he's been able to do, watching his grind. You know, I've been covering Jimmy Horn Jr. since he transferred over from UCF to Colorado. Man, he's been a dog since he stepped on the field. Really one of my favorite wide receivers, not only in the NFL, but in college football, because he was a part of helping Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, and the Colorado Buffaloes turn that program around. We've seen the big plays he made against Colorado State. We've seen the plays he made against USC. You know, we've seen him step up in big moments and key moments. And that's who Jimmy Horn Jr. is. He's never going to quit, the ultimate teammate. Even when LaJohntay Wester, Will Shepard, all them boys transferred into Colorado, he never was jealous over how many balls were coming his way. Pause. That was crazy. But he never was a bad teammate. All of his teammates have great things to say about LaJohntay Wester. You know, he was really one of a fan favorites in Colorado, and you can see why he's a fan favorite now in Carolina, even as a rookie. Another one, I want to see him get back to his original number, that 5. That 15 is cool, but I want to see him get back to that original number. Now, I did see him slotted as a starting kickoff return. I thought he was going to lock up that punt return, but I haven't seen him as much on punt return and kickoff return as I have seen him operating out of the slot because of plays like this. Jimmy Horn Jr. continues to make play after play in practice. One thing you don't get from Jimmy Horn Jr., as like what he already knew and Coach Prime has already preached, he's not going to miss advantage of his opportunities. When you get your opportunities, you got to make the plays. Of course, he has learning curves, and he has Hunter Renfrow out there teaching him some tricks of the trades out of that slot receiver. Man, but give him another year. I'm looking forward to Jimmy Horn Jr.'s rookie year, and especially how he finishes the end of this year. Carolina is not doing that bad, and LaJohntay Wester and the Baltimore Ravens, they're also doing their thing. Now for LaJohntay Wester, I think I could see him making more of an offensive splash his second year. I think he's going to continue to learn out there in Baltimore, but he's going to continue to be the starting punt returner. We might see him even mixed in that kick returner, but for right now, big shout out, huge shout out to LaJohntay Wester, man. And of course, J5 Fleazy. You know, I'm a fan, dude. You know, I've been following Colorado for over the last 3 seasons. We're on the 3rd season, and I watched Jimmy Horn Jr.'s journey, you know, from his pops being incarcerated. I seen LaJohntay Wester transfer over from FAU, and I'm just proud of these young men and what they're doing in the NFL, taking advantage of opportunities. And you know, Coach Prime is continuing to put them dogs out of Colorado in the NFL. Yeah, these rookies is playing in Colorado. From Colorado, you know, LaJohntay Wester is out there going crazy in Baltimore, and Jimmy Horn Jr. is doing his dance for the Carolina Panthers. I appreciate all the love and support. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell. You know we're going to keep it lit on this channel, and as always, like the thumbnail says, say no more.